a whole ham. You might want to get one heated up for your Christmas, Thanksgiving, or other holiday, or maybe just for a meal, maybe just for dinner, maybe even for lunch. But can you get a whole ham cooked up in your air fryer toaster oven? Perhaps you can. I'm Darnell with Wave On Recipes, and today I'm going to be using the Emeril Lagasse Power Air Fryer 360 XL, cooking up a whole 11-pound ham, and we're going to see how that goes right now. Alright, so here we have our ham. It actually weighs 11.6 pounds, so I guess we could say roughly 12 pounds of ham here. You know, it's over 11 and a half, so we'll round up and just say 12. But basically, we see it's a spiral sliced. It's already been applewood smoked. So this is not like a raw ham. This is, you know, usually hams you get in the store already pre-cooked, and you have to basically get them heated. And so with this ham, I'm not going to use the glaze packet that they provided. I'm going to make up my own glaze for this, and so I'll be showing you that later. But for now, I'm just going to get this net bag off it. And nothing in this video is sponsored, by the way. First thing we want to do is get this instructions off the ham so we can see how they recommend to cook their ham. This is basically your best guide to how to cook the ham. So here we have the warming instructions, and the warming instructions mention to heat to 275 degrees Fahrenheit, remove all packaging materials, place the ham in a shallow roasting pan, flat side down, cover the pan tightly with aluminum foil, bake for approximately 15 minutes per pound until heated through. Do not overcook. Remove ham from oven. Let stand covered for 15 minutes before glazing and or serving. And so for the weight of this ham, basically it's going to take, according to them, between 2 hours 45 minutes and 3 hours. That would be 15 minutes per pound. And we want to cook it, you know, ham should be cooked to a temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit internal meat temperature. I will be using my iGrill 2 to measure the temperature of the ham as we go along, because this might cook a little faster, but who knows, it might cook a little slower. Now, instead of using aluminum foil, I'm going to use one of these Copper Chef bake and grill mats. I'm going to put that under on the baking pan. Just kind of set that in there. I'm going to get this ham unwrapped. Alright, so I've got my ham out, got the flat side of the ham down on my grill mat here. I've got the Emeril Lagasse Power Fryer 360 XL set to slow cook in 275 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to adjust the time for its cook time down to 3 hours. If it needs more, we can add more later. But for now, I'm going to hit start, and it does a preheat. Once it's done preheating, we'll get this ham in. I've got the baking rack on the lowest level for slow cook because this ham is pretty, you know, high on the top, and so that'll keep it from touching necessarily too high. I could have put it on the rack level just one up and it still wouldn't have hit, but still it would have been a little closer to the top. So with slow cook, it should take care of, you know, things being down on that bottom rack without any problem. So we'll let the slow cook go through its preheat, and then we'll get started. Alright, the preheat's done. I'm going to hit pause to set the time back to the full 3 hours. I'm going to open up here and slide my ham in. Here we go. Got my temperature probe in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And I'll bring you back in a bit. Alright, so the ham has been going for almost 2 hours. It's only up to about 83 to 85 degrees. And so I'm going to basically leave it going at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. But I'm going to extend out the time. It may need more than 3 hours. I'll just keep an eye on the temperature as things go to see when it gets to the near 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I have some additional ingredients that I'll be using to make up my glaze at that point, when it gets close to 145, I'll glaze it and then, you know, let it cook out to its 145 target temp. But for now, I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to up the time out to, you know, it's got like 3 hours on there, so let it go about you know, about another 3 hours. So probably won't take 5 hours total, but just give it more time to roll. And so we'll let that run. I'll bring you on back later. Alright, so just a little over 3 hours, our ham hit 145. I'm going to basically pause and open the door to try and take some heat off of it. It shot up pretty fast at the end, and I was starting to get my ingredients together for my glaze, and it shot up so quick it hit, you know, 145, and it's kind of still going up because of carryover now. So, you know, it kind of shot up on me a little quicker than I anticipated at the very end of it. But what I've got for my glaze ingredients is 2 cups of brown sugar, tablespoon of allspice berries, tablespoon freshly cracked black pepper. I've got 1 cup of apple juice. I usually would use a 1/4 cup of honey, but my supply of honey is getting low. And so I've got basically a 1/4 cup of some syrup instead of honey to substitute. So basically I'm going to heat this up, get it all combined, and then I'll start glazing the ham. Alright, so I got my ham glaze all together, and you can see the temperature on carryover has gone up to like 151. I'm going to lower the slow cook temp to the lowest, 225, while I basically give this a little time to, you know, just let the glaze set in. And time, I mean, I'm probably going to let the time to do maybe like 10 minutes or so. I'm going to switch this from slow cook. I'm going to hit cancel and switch this from slow cook over to roast, where I can manipulate the time a little better. So, you know, both roast and slow cook use the top and bottom heating elements. It's just that slow cook allows you to put more time on than roast does. So going down to 15 minutes, and going to lower the temp down to just 225 there. And going to go ahead and try and carefully apply my glaze. Going to try and get a little more out of here. I will mention I've had to basically use a spoon to get some of this juice out as it built up. I've had to do that a couple of times, where I just kind of do like this. I get some of this juice and just pour it off. So I'm just going to do that now to kind of get some of the excess off before I apply the glaze, which is going to make even more fluid down in the bottom of the pan here. And you know, I'd rather do this than to have things overflowing into the drip pan, and then the drip pan gets over flooded, and then you got fluid coming out of the cooker, which is not any fun and just not cool at all. So we've got some of that off. You can see my ham, you know, got a little cooked, you know, a little charred on the top there, but it's cooking pretty well. I'm just going to top with my glaze. I'm going to go ahead and spoon my glaze on. That'll probably be the easiest way to get some more of my glaze on the ham. So I'm going to spoon it on here and get it nicely covered with glaze. The glaze smells pretty nice. I mean, if you like, you can use the glaze that they give you. I just prefer to use my own, and with my own ham glaze, I know what I put in it. I know there's nothing that I'm unaware of in my glaze, because I'm going from, you know, pretty much straight ingredients, with the exception of the syrup, which is syrup. Alright, so I got it pretty well covered. You see I got some basically overflowing, spilling on me there. And get this basically pushed back in. I'm going to get some napkins to stop that stuff from falling over here. I'm going to get some more of that fluid off. Try and stop the flood. I just kind of got a little extra of that glaze that kind of went over there, but you can do what you feel need to do to try and avoid that type of issue that you see that is going on right there. And our carryover temp is up to like 157. It's like really really shooting up. But I just want to get a little of this glaze just baked in just a little bit. So we got some fluid off there. And gonna go ahead and hit start with that. Just let it go for 15 minutes and I'll bring you right back. All right, and with the time running out, I'm going to go ahead and open up. You can see what things carried over to, and you know, got a little bit of, sorry about the beeping, got a little extra heat from the 225, but not much. So going to try and get my ham out, and I'm just going to get this meat probe out of here now. Get that out of there. And going to put my ham over here in this pan carefully. And kind of dropping some slices even as I lift it because the ham is kind of moist, but I got them all. Okay, so here's our spiral sliced ham. You see it's got a lot of the glaze there. You can kind of see on the back end how it looks on this side here, but it's very moist and tender. I mean, you can see it's kind of even coming apart. It's so moist. It's almost like pulled ham, but not exactly. So I'm just going to basically take one of these spiral slices. See if I can get one of these spiral slices off of here. Got these big gloves on. I think I'm just going to have to kind of take it as is. But gonna plate that on my plate, and I'll go ahead and get things set up for the taste test. All right, so here's the ham, and so I'm basically just going to, now that I got my fingers, I can kind of like get a slice separated from other parts. But gonna do a taste of this one here. Okay, ham tastes good. It's still tender, still moist, so didn't get it dried all out. And you know, the glaze adds a nice touch to it. And so this basically shows that the Emeril Lagasse Power Air Fryer 360 XL can cook up your ham about the same amount of time as with the instructions, and would do probably like with a conventional oven going in that low type of temp. And like I said, at the very end, that temp really shot up at the end. So, you know, just make sure that you've got your glaze ready, and you can put it on for like maybe that last 10-15 minutes and be done. But it turns out really good. And so you'll be able to find this and other heating instructions, recipes and such at superwaveovenrecipes.com. Also see the video description. There's a link to a printable version. You can also find links there to like the smaller version of this cooker, my referral link, and also my Amazon shop link. And so also you can always come to this YouTube channel by going to waveovenrecipes.com. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at waveovenrecipes. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and good eating.